Hi there, and welcome to The Salted Pepper, where we cook for real life, using real food, and we keep it real simple. And today we're gonna make chicken satay in the Ninja Foodi Grill. Now this is the first recipe I've done in the Ninja Foodi Grill on a video, but I have been experimenting quite a bit with the grill, and I have found some great uses for it. So you definitely want to subscribe to my channel by hitting the red button below if you have the grill and you want to see more recipes for it. But first we're going to start with a really simple dish that honestly I never even thought of making before because it sort of seemed complicated. Well, I'm here to tell you it is not complicated, and you can do it right indoors with the Ninja Foodi Grill. Makes it super easy, and it is so fast to grill it up. It's unreal. But the first thing we need to do is get our chicken marinated. What I have here is 1.5 pounds of chicken breast, boneless, skinless chicken breast. I've already sliced up one, and I'm gonna slice the other one on camera for you just so I can show you how I do it. Now, the way that I do it isn't necessarily the right way, so you can slice it up any way you'd like, but I'll just show you how I do it. So I've already trimmed this chicken breast up. I've taken some of like a little piece of gristle, if you will, off of this side and trimmed it up on the underside a little bit. And I like to flip it over, and I take my knife and I go at a 45-degree angle and I make thin slices. Really thin. This is gonna have your satay super flavorful and grill up really fast. Now, they don't have to be as thin as I just did here. You could make them a little bit thicker by just moving your knife back a little bit more. And you could have pieces that are about that size. So I would say this is probably between 1/8 and 1/4 inch, and this is probably leaning towards 1/2 inch thick. Either one's gonna work fine. Just try to keep them as consistent as you can so that they all grill up at the same time. I'm just gonna keep going here. I'm making mine a little bit thicker because the ones that I already have in the bowl are a little bit thicker too. Always watch your fingers when you do this. And when you get down to the point where it's not really that comfortable, like you're getting really close to your fingers, you can always turn it around. You know, it's not gonna make that much difference so that your flatter surface is down. So you're not, moving it around. That's fine too. All right, the last little piece is always kind of funny. So you get little bits like that, but no worries at all because we are going to cook those up, and we can either eat them ourselves as the person cooking. We always get a little treat, or you can serve them on a plate. That works fine. All right, so I'm just gonna throw all of these in the bowl, and then I'm gonna clean up, and we're gonna get our marinade all set up, and we're gonna get the chicken marinating. It needs to marinate somewhere between 30 minutes and a couple of hours. All right, so to mix up the marinade, I'm gonna use 1/2 cup of coconut milk. I'm just gonna add that into this bowl. Now mine looks a little thicker than some, and you might think it's coconut cream. It's not, it is coconut milk, but I store mine in the freezer. So when a recipe calls for less than what a whole can is, I just store it in a Ziploc freezer bag until I need to use it, and that way I don't have to throw it away. So since this only calls for 1/2 cup, if that's all you're making, you can do the same thing and store it until you need to use it again. All right, so to the coconut milk, I'm gonna add 2 cloves of minced garlic and 2 inches, about 2 teaspoons of grated fresh ginger. Now, I think the fresh ginger is definitely worth using, but if you didn't have it and you wanted to just add some dry ginger into this, I would probably add about 1/2 teaspoon. I think that would be a good equivalent for this. All right, I'm gonna add in our dry spices, which is 2 teaspoons of turmeric and 1 teaspoon of fine ground sea salt. Now, the turmeric is gonna give that beautiful color. All right, so let me add in the rest of the ingredients. What I have here is 1 tablespoon of lemongrass paste. Now, I get my lemongrass from the grocery store in the produce section. It's usually in the refrigerated section above the herbs, the fresh herbs, and it's by Gourmet Garden. If you can't find lemongrass, you can certainly skip it, or you could zest in just a little bit of a lemon peel. Even though they're not the same thing, it will add a little bit of brightness to the marinade. So just about maybe a half of a teaspoon of a lemon that you zest, just the peel. And I have 1 tablespoon of a chili garlic sauce and 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, which can be either fresh or the store-bought kind that comes in a jar. Either one's fine. So real quick before I mix this up, I'll just show you the chili garlic sauce that I use because it is easily found in almost all grocery stores. In fact, you can find it at Walmart as well. So it's really easy to find. It's inexpensive. It is a great staple to have if you like Asian food because I use it all the time and it adds such a great flavor. All right, so let's just mix this marinade up with a little fork here. Now this would also work fine on steak, so you don't have to use chicken. I mean, it would actually work on tofu as well. So you can make this a vegetarian. You can change it up any which way you like, but I'm just going to use chicken. That seems to be sort of the norm, I think, is a chicken satay. But you could use, like I said, beef, pork, lamb, anything you want you could use, or tofu. All right, so let's go ahead and pour this over chicken. Now, I will give you a little warning, which is going to happen to me later on in the video. If you mix this up with your hands, you are going to have orange hands. Just so you know, the turmeric will get on your fingers. It easily comes off, but you will end up with little orange tinted, yellow tinted fingernails, and especially your fingernails. That's really where it affects. It was funny because Jeff and I were doing a video, and I had tested this recipe and I was just about to start the video and I looked down, I'm like, why are my hands yellow? And then I remembered and I was like, all right, well, let me go scrub them. All right, so we mix this up. Now, you want this to sit on the chicken for at least 30 minutes. You can leave it longer though. So if you wanted to do this the day before, cover it and put it in the refrigerator overnight, you can. If you're gonna leave it out on the counter, you only wanna leave it out for a maximum of about an hour, or you can put it in the refrigerator for an hour. Either way is gonna work fine. I'm gonna marinate mine for 30 minutes, so I'm just gonna leave it room temperature. All right, so my chicken has been marinating in the marinade that we made up a little while ago. I have also made my peanut sauce, which is keeping warm in the blender right back there. And if you want to learn how to make the peanut sauce, I will link to that video right up there. It is absolutely delicious, and I'm going to serve it with our chicken satay. So real quick, before I get the grill preheated, I want to talk about the skewers. So my grill came with 5 metal skewers, but that isn't really enough for the chicken satay, and it doesn't take up a lot of room on the grill surface. So I also used some bamboo skewers that I've had soaking for a few hours in just water. And what I did was I just took them down and broke off about 3 to 4 inches, just to make sure that they would fit in the grill, and they do. All right, so that is really easy. They're inexpensive to buy. They come in packets like this, and they also have shorter ones. And I know I've got them somewhere, but I couldn't find them today. So this works just fine. All right, now there's really no way to not get messy with this next process. You can wear gloves. I was a nurse for 28 years and my hands do not agree with gloves. I would rather just wash them really well afterwards. So that's what I'm going to do. So now we want to get our satay onto our skewers. You can take out pieces here. Let me move that right there. I'll do the metal ones first. And just sort of put the chicken through. But then you want to spread it out, okay? You don't want to bunch it up. What happens if you bunch it up, it doesn't cook evenly. You'll get burn marks and it won't cook correctly. So you want to make sure that it's spread out on your skewer. Now I could probably get another little piece here on the end of this one. Just be careful that you don't poke your finger because these are sharp. All right, then what I do is I just put them right on the bowl like that and I keep going. Now, I'm going to be washing my hands and starting this grill. So what I'm going to do is just finish with these metal ones, show you one of the bamboo ones, but it is exactly the same process. And then I will get my hands washed, we will preheat the grill, and I will finish putting all these on the skewers. There we go. All right, let me show you one of these. One thing, if you watch any of my videos, I do not like having food on my hands. As much as I love to cook, it's just one of those things. I would rather dig in dirt than have food all over my hands. So I need to get this off. All right, I'm gonna keep going here. It's the same exact principle. So just kind of weave it in and out and then stretch it out. All right, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands, show you how to preheat the grill, show you what's in the grill, and then I will finish these up off camera and we will get to grilling. All right, so with the Ninja Foodi grill, you wanna preheat it, and it sort of does that automatically for us. So I'm gonna turn the Ninja Foodi grill on, and then I'm gonna select grill, and it defaults to high. I'm gonna hit that button one more time, and it's gonna go to max. We want it on max grill for this recipe, and we're gonna hit the start button. Now, it is gonna take probably about 8 minutes or so. I have actually not timed it for this to preheat. So in the meantime, I will finish up my skewers. So I was so worried about getting the marinade off my hands. I forgot to tell you, the grill grate is in there. Not the grill grate that you can buy for the Ninja Foodi, that's an accessory, but the actual grill grate that comes with the grill is in there while it's preheating. That's very important. You want to put the basket in or the griddle in or the grill piece in before you preheat so that it becomes hot as well. And in just about a minute or so, this is gonna say add food. All right, so there we go. We had a little beep and it says add food, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna add the food. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up here, and I'm just gonna lay these skewers on. It does not matter how you lay them on. So you could go this way or this way. I'm gonna go this way because it's gonna be the easiest for me to get them off. All right, that's all I'm gonna fit on right now. And then what I'm gonna do is take the time down to 6 minutes, and we will flip it 3, we'll get these off, and then we'll get the next batch on. And I still have chicken left here that I didn't put on the skewers because it doesn't matter. If you don't have the skewers, you don't have to use them. You can just lay the pieces of chicken on the grill just like it is, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. All right, so we've been going for 3 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the grill. It's looking good. Now I'm just gonna flip these over. Oh, yes. They look so good already. Now, if you meet resistance, meaning that your skewer will not lift up, leave it alone. That means it's not ready to be flipped. Just leave it alone. We've got the heat from the preheated grill grate, but we also have, of course, the heat coming from above. So it's not absolutely necessary that we flip these, honestly. But I like to because I like to see if I can get a little char on the other side as well. All right, so we're gonna go back down for 3 minutes. And honestly, this is just the time that I used and worked beautifully in the test batches that I did, but probably 5 minutes would be fine. So use your own judgment. You certainly can take the chicken off a little bit sooner than I do if you think it's done. It's gonna be really hard to take a temperature because it's cut so thin. That's why I err on the side of caution and go the 6 minutes. It was not dry, the chicken was perfect. So you can either do that or use your own judgment and knock that time down a little bit. I have a feeling 4 to 5 minutes, it's probably done. All right, so we just had the beep and our 3 minutes is up. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these out. Now I'm using 2 different tongs. These are for the raw chicken. This is for when it's finished. And I'm gonna just take these out and set them over here on the plate. They look fantastic. They look great. All right, we will, whoop, it happens. Okay. Oh, let's go ahead and get these right back on here. Now, it may go to the preheat again. but it will only go for a second. And then what I'll do is I'll open the lid. All right, real quick, so I didn't finish my thought. I should have finished my thought. So it might go to the preheat again, and that's okay. I'll let these stay on preheat. It'll only take a second to do that, and then I'll open the lid and put it back down. I wanted to show you, so I'm just gonna throw these little pieces on just separately. So if you didn't have skewers or you didn't wanna be bothered with the skewers, you can just set them on the grill, just like this. You don't want the meat overlapping too much, okay? Just because it won't cook evenly either. All right, let's close this up and let's take our time up to 6 minutes and hit start. And look, it didn't even preheat again, so that's great. So we are on the max grill, 6 minutes. I'm gonna flip it 3, get them on our plate, serve them up with some peanut sauce, and look at that. Oh my goodness. I can't wait. These are gorgeous. All right, we are all done. So I can go ahead and open up the lid and get these out. Now, these are the ones that didn't have the skewers on them. I'm just gonna throw them here on top. So they do fall apart a little bit easier when they're not on the skewers. So if you wanted to do them all without skewers, I would cut them a little bit thicker, and you may have to increase your time to about 8 minutes. But just use your judgment. And if they're cut thicker, you can actually do a temperature. But these are good. Make sure I've got them all here. I can't really see in there. I'm so short. There we go. All right. So it looks good. Now, because of the type of marinade, the grill gets a lot of baked on stuff onto it. So what I found, a really easy way to start the cleaning process while you're enjoying your dinner, is to go ahead and put in some water with a few drops of Dawn. This is 8 cups. It will come over the rack, and the heat from the grill will start to heat up that water and start to clean it, so that when you're ready, when it's all cooled down and you've finished eating, you can pick this up. You might still need some mitts on. Pick this up, take it over to the sink, and you're gonna have a lot easier time cleaning it up. All right, let's get to trying this. So I'm just gonna take some of these pieces that were off the skewers. It looks so good. Oh my gosh. All right, one without sauce. Very good. I would definitely say that could probably go down to 4 minutes rather than 6 minutes. 4 to 5 minutes is probably going to be fine. That piece was a little dry. It was on the small side too. So this thicker one will be probably perfectly cooked. So that's why consistency matters. So however you cut them consistent all the way through so that your cook times are the same. All right, let's dip it in this peanut sauce, which is so delicious. That is so good. All right, so the marinade is on the spicy side. Now, it's not super, super spicy, but it is on the spicy side. So if you don't like any spice, definitely cut down on that chili garlic sauce in half, or cut it out completely. You're still gonna have a delicious marinade, but without that heat. But for me, it's absolutely perfect. So good. All right, that's it. Easy peasy. Chicken satay in the Ninja Foodi grill, and get the cleaning action going while you're eating. You can sprinkle these with a little bit of chopped cilantro, a little bit of chopped peanuts if you want. You can take them off the skewers. You can leave them on the skewers. You can, serve them as appetizers. I mean, they're just gorgeous. So you could put these on a platter for an appetizer. Would be perfect. A little bit of dipping sauce. You're good to go.